Good morning, good afternoon, good evening for some. So I'm still seeing some people jumping in, so I'll wait a little bit and then we'll start the presentation. Is it? Okay, so let's start. So first of all, I want to start by saying how happy we are at Global DMC Partners. It is so lovely to be able to have this particular webinar when the announcement of the opening of the borders for many destinations will happen in November. Now we are crossing fingers that it happens on November 1st. Because the sooner the better. But how wonderful it is to know that finally so many of our international groups will be able to come to US. It was excellent news. So hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining Global DMC Partners for our Destination Download 2.0 series, where today's session will focus on the latest updates, reality and readiness of some markets in the US and in Canada. My name is Catherine Chollet. I'm the president and CEO of Global DMC Partners. So for those who do not know us, Global DMC Partners is the world's premier centralized resource for virtual, hybrid, and in-person events. Our team of global sales advisors can connect you with the best DMCs and event service providers in the world, and you have a wonderful group of them here on this particular Zoom, and they are all around the world, allowing, well, the ones today will focus specifically on US and Canada. So the benefit of Global DMC Partners is that we can centralize all of your event needs through one dedicated contact. So the DMCs are your experts on the ground. They know exactly what can be done in a market, what can't be done in market, and they have the local connections to make wonders happen in their destination. As COVID happened and as meetings and events have evolved, our clients' needs have evolved as well. So they've come to us asking for more services. So we have partnered with specialized event providers and now offer additional services. And this is a list of the ones that we represent. So if you are interested in learning more or need help with your program, but don't know exactly where to start, please make sure to reach out to someone on the GDP team. And here they are on the screen. They are here to connect you with our network of amazing partners and serve as a liaison, as an ambassador between you and our partners throughout the entire duration of your event or your meeting. If you're not sure who you should reach out to, please email the main info box and we'll connect you with the right person. So today, we're going to present the latest updates from destinations around the United States and Canada. And we're doing this because so many clients have reached out to us wanting to know where can they go, what is possible in certain destinations. So we thought this format would be the ideal format for this. So we'll start first with the most recent news around border entry and health and sanitation protocols for visiting both countries, and then speak a little bit about the readiness of those regions when it comes to hotel vendors and staffing. We will have those several DMC experts live with us so they can arm you with the latest pertinent information about their destinations, but also provide you with some great ideas about what's new in their markets, because there has been actually quite a lot of openings in the midst of COVID. The next hour is designed to be very interactive, so audience participation in this format is highly encouraged. We will be presenting some slides with the help of our DMCs, but we want you attendees to also feel very comfortable and inspired to ask questions throughout the discussion, especially if you have questions for a DMC that is here today. this is the perfect time to ask those questions. We have placed all of the audience members on mute automatically because we want to prevent any issues around background noises. So please use the chat for comments so we can refer to them, and I might call on some of you to further clarify a question or to ask more questions. Finally, this session is being recorded, and we will share the recording with everyone after the webinar concludes. So you don't need to take notes right now. You can listen to it. This hour usually goes very, very fast, and we're going to cover a lot of ground. So if you want more information than what we're giving to you during this session, just let us know when you fill the survey what questions you have, and then we'll connect you with the DMC. So we want to make sure that even if we don't touch on your subjects, on your questions, we will come back to you later. So with all this said, and by the way, answering the survey is something that matters a lot to us. Give us ideas, give us your feedback on this survey so that we continuously not only create webinars that are of interest to you, but also tweak them so that they are even better. So with all this said, I'd like to start by polling everyone. And the first question we will ask you is, are you still planning in-person meetings? And when? So please, and you can, use multiple answers here. Be interested in seeing your responses. I'll let Stacy, I believe, will give us the answers. So what I can tell you is a lot of our clients, yes, are planning exactly for 2021 and 2022, and very few, 7%. Okay, so this is very much in accordance with what our clients are saying. So there is a lot of activity, and interestingly enough, since the announcement of the opening of the borders, we've seen a jump in demand as well, which is a very good sign. Primarily for 2022, but 2021 is still pretty active, which is great. And then the second question I'd like to ask to the audience is, what is the main factor in determining the location for your in-person event? And here we're going to make it difficult. You can only select one. I want to understand what is the most important for you. Vaccination rates, availability, pre-COVID contractual obligations, travel regulations, or other? So again, very interested in the responses we'll get. Stacy or Erin, are we starting to?
Yeah, people are still filling it out though.
Some okay. Of them are closed, so there's probably more other
minute than... or two. All right, I think we've got a good group now.
Good. Travel regulation is the number one. Okay, good. So, well, good. That means that as borders open, then we'll get more pre-COVID contractual obligations. Still, availability is a big issue. We'll speak a lot about that during this session. Most destinations have interesting challenges, and that's where the DMCs can help so much. And vaccination rates. A lot of clients come to us and ask us to give ideas for destination based on vaccination rates. So that is, yeah, great. Perfect. So thank you very much for your answers on this. So let us start by giving you, kind of general ideas on the USA. So obviously the borders are still closed as of today to a number of countries, and that represents a big part of the world. And so you see the European Schengen area, etc. Again, I just mentioned that earlier. Hopefully, the borders will be open on November 1st to fully vaccinated visitors. Until then, we do have a few groups that come, but what they do is they work either by staying 14 days in another area that is allowed to US, or by getting some NIE sponsorship letters. But one way or the other, whether you're international or US, when you come back to the States, you have to show proof of negative COVID to all passengers. So I'm assuming everybody is aware of this. Again, we cannot wait for those changes to be in effect. Let's go to Canada this time. Canada has been open to much more in countries than US. And again, we have Anita who will speak in more details about Canada, but the borders are open to all international air travelers that are double vaccinated, only with these vaccines. And that actually is an interesting point, but there are a number of other vaccines out there in the world that are not necessarily recognized in certain countries. So this is the case for Canada. In terms of vaccination, when looking at the vaccination rates in US, as you can see, 55% are fully vaccinated and 64% received one dose. So it is not as high as other countries in the world, but it's definitely going higher. Canada, on the other hand, is much stronger. 68.7% are fully vaccinated, with nearly 75% of them receive one dose. So that actually creates some good comfort levels for a number of groups. So what are some of the challenges that a lot of our clients are dealing with? And interestingly enough, your response to the poll confirmed this. Occupancies in hotels. Some hotels are allowed to be at full occupancy and some decide not to be at full occupancy, mostly because of staffing challenges. So again, knowing exactly the destination where you're going and the options that you have in terms of hotel is absolutely essential for meeting planners. What we're seeing is hotels do not regularly provide COVID test on site. So very often you need to work with a DMC to make this happen. And again, there's a few examples that I hope some of our partners will share with you. In terms of staffing, I thought some of this data might be interesting for you. But out of all of the loss of jobs during COVID in US, 37% of all jobs were in leisure and hospitality. So that gives you an idea at the dramatic impact that this crisis had to all of us. And while US unemployment rate is at 5.2%, for leisure and hospitality, it is around 11%. So it is still very difficult for many clients, vendors, hotels, restaurants, etc., to find staff, even though the unemployment rate is still very high. One of the reasons for this is that many staff that were let go had to find jobs in other industries. And while they love hospitality, they still don't feel that it is safe enough to come back to these jobs without some risk. We believe that with the opening of borders, the sentiment that we are getting back to a real normal is going to increase, and therefore, hopefully, we will have higher employment. Some restaurants, as well as some hotels, decide to have certain services on certain days and have limited service hour. So again, for meeting planners, it is essential that they are aware of those situations in order to build the right programs for them. So that is at a high level what we see, and I hope that it makes sense with what you're seeing as well, and if not, please let us know. So now I want to dig a little bit deeper on each destination, and I'm going to call on some of our partners, and especially for them to share what's new in their market, but also what is so essential for a meeting planner to be aware. And Fallon, I'll start with you, if you don't mind. I would love for you to tell us what makes Nashville such a competitive destination, and also how are you managing staffing?
Yeah, absolutely. So hello, everyone. Good morning. The greatest thing about Nashville is the fact that we are diverse in all of our offerings. from having the city life of downtown to the rural communities and counties surrounding Davidson, to the outdoor activities and adventure opportunities that we have. The shopping, the food and beverage scene here is amazing and has really improved over the past 10 years. We always have live music. There's always a sporting event going on. You kind of name it. So regardless of where you're staying within the city, there is always something to do for every taste. Another thing about Nashville that makes us unique, we're a tier 2 city technically, but we have tier 1 offerings, especially in terms of hotels. Whether you're Marriott, Hilton, Hyatt, doesn't matter what type of rewards points you follow, we have everything. We're actually almost finished with our 4 seasons and breaking ground on the Ritz soon. So there's some higher end properties that are coming into our city as well.
Great, great.
Talk about staffing too, Catherine.
Yes, please.
Yeah, just real quick. So as everybody knows, and Catherine, what you just said, we mimic that here in Nashville in terms of the hospitality industry as a whole is short staffed. It's taking us a little bit longer to turn around proposals. Normally at Maple Ridge events, we do it within 24 hours. We're about 72 hours to get the information from vendors and venues right now. However, for us internally, we are staffed and ready to go. We have 14 people, which is the largest EMC in Nashville right now, and will probably stay that way for the foreseeable future. So as our team is ready to go, we're doubling down on our workload and making sure that we are helping pushing all of our clients' business forward.
Thank you, Fallon. You also have some interesting destinations outside, and a lot of our clients are looking for outside options during that COVID time. So can you speak a little bit about this to us?
Yeah, absolutely. Within about 30 to 45 minutes drive of Nashville, we have like Arrington Vineyards. There's 3 or 4 different plantations that we have, in which have vast grounds in which we can have outdoor events with tents. What you're showing here on the screen is in Knoxville, which is about 2.5 hours from Nashville, and it's a 5-star AAA Michelin rated venue called Blackberry Farms. It's one of my favorites and great for incentive trips. So even though we have a city here in Nashville, all the rural opportunities that are around Nashville are great options for the COVID right now.
Nice, Fallon. Yep, absolutely. Great. Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Of
So
course.
I'd like to call Anita. Anita, can you share with us a little bit about Canada, but specifically, we all know that Canada is very well known to be a very safe destination. So can you tell us a little bit more about it and what can be done in Canada? And Anita, you're going to focus primarily on Toronto area, and then later on, I'll speak about the western part of Canada as well.
Sure. Oh, thank you for having us. So yeah, Toronto this week actually got awarded the second place in the safest cities in the world after Copenhagen, and we lost by 0.2%, and it's based on digital security, health safety, personal safety, environmental safety. So overall, we're a very, very safe city. People are out and about walking all sorts of hours, daytime, nighttime. But also when it comes to COVID vaccinations, we're very close to being the first metropolitan area to reach herd immunity. We are currently sitting at 84.9% as of last night, double vaccinated eligible adults. We hope to hit 90 by the end of the month, because as of today, everybody who is going into a public setting, into a meeting, convention, restaurant, does have to be double vaccinated and carry a vaccination passport. So we're very proud of that. I know we're a little bit slower getting going, but our going into the 4th wave, Toronto has not seen a spike with our kids going back to school. People are getting out. They're following, our compliance is fabulous. So we're safe and we can take people back now. And as Catherine mentioned, anybody can fly into Canada with a negative PCR test that has to be taken 72 hours prior to that arrival, but you still can't drive across the border. And that really is to keep trade going, keep our trucks going, because they need extra time for testing and so forth, but anybody can fly in, and that is working great. And we haven't had this issue, the employment issue, to the extent that US have, just because our government did have programming to keep people on staff. We also had a great program to keep people paid. They didn't have to rely on their unemployment insurance. So there are people coming back, and the restaurants that we're finding that can't open 7 days a week, they are opening 5 days a week. And really Monday seems to be the dark night in Toronto. but we've had wonderful hotels opening. The new One Toronto opened. It's a fully sustainable hotel. Nobu is opening this fall. The Cube Hotel is opening this fall. The Hyatt just relaunched. So we are full on opening, and we just finished TIFF, the Toronto International Film Festival, with all the stars coming. So we're here. We're ready to help.
Great, great, wonderful. Thank you, Anita. Yes, Canada is always one of the best destinations to go to as well. Now I'd like to call on Bonnie and Denise from New Orleans, and I would love first to get an update of the situation in your market, especially after the hurricane damages. So what is the reality in New Orleans right now?
Yes, well, good morning, everyone. Denise here from BBC Destination Management. Yes, so for those of you that watch the news, the media coverage is actually quite unfortunate, just like it was after Katrina. Hurricane Ida came in. Yes, she definitely did some damage, but to city proper, you would come and not know that there was you wouldn't know that there was ever a storm. So in our suburban areas and outlining areas and the areas down on the bayou, they definitely did receive some devastation. However, all reports lean to the bayou and the swamp areas that would be back up by the first of the year.
Yes.
So, and you know, businesses will come back, but personal homes, that's another story. But to visit, you would never have known that there was a storm.
Wow, yes, great.
Yeah.
That is so essential for us to know, because I know people are concerned. They want to come to New Orleans and assume that it is not an option. Can you also speak to us about some of the changes and some of the new hotels that have opened in New Orleans?
Yeah, absolutely. Bonnie, do you want to take hotels?
Yes, I'll do hotels. Actually, my husband and I went over to the Four Seasons last night, and I was very, very impressed. It is a renovation, a complete renovation of a mid-century modern trade mart, and it's pretty exceptional. It really is. It's at the foot of Canal Street overlooking the river. It has got 2 restaurants that are not yet open, but they're working on it. And one of them is a Donald Link restaurant, who is a very famous James Beard chef. Quite excited about everything. They're condominiums, and they're about 300 rooms. It's going to be a great spot. And then the Virgin Hotel has opened, and it is trendy, trendy, trendy. It's right in the CBD district, so it's beautifully located between the sports arena area and the French Quarter, and it's quite a wonderful property. It's a brand new build, And just this morning, we heard that the Windsor Court has been voted by Travel and Leisure as one of the top 15 in-city hotels in the United States. So we're quite proud of that,
Great, lovely, lovely. Denise, anything else you want to add? You speak about the airport here.
Airport.
That's very relevant for us.
Do you want me to mention anything about the COVID regulations that are in place? Would you like me to do that? Yes. By the way, our airport is amazing. We are extremely proud of it. So please travel through just so you can eat there. However, for COVID, again, obviously negative press in New Orleans, because a lot of it is Louisiana based that hits the media. But obviously, when speaking of Louisiana, everyone thinks New Orleans. New Orleans proper and Orleans Parish, our vaccination rate with at least initiated with at least 1 dose has just hit over the 80% mark, which is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
When Delta reared its head, there was a very high spike when all of the masks and everything were released. The city did go back at that point with a mask mandate, and currently in effect in Orleans Parish, to dine or anywhere that has food and beverage or mass gathering, there is a proof of vaccine that is required,
right?
But at least 1 dose. It does not have to be doubly vaccinated or PCR negative test. So, and that is something, obviously it's a challenge in regards to policing that. But I have no doubt, because as of this morning, numbers have significantly decreased.
Yes.
Is that because of the storm? Because people aren't getting tested and that type of thing? We're not quite sure of that yet, but it does look extremely positive with those vaccination rates being up, that we will see a release on that hopefully soon.
Well,
And
80%, that's great news.
It's great news. And remember too, that there's always the option of Mardi Gras masks.
Good point. Good, as long as it's really cover. Good idea. Well, you have two big fans of the Windsor Court here. Heidi and Sue love the Windsor Court. So this is
Great
nice.
hotel.
Thank you, BBC. We will come back to New Orleans soon. We actually have a few groups, so this is yeah.
We do. Shelley and I are currently working on a big
Yep.
one. So yeah.
Thank you, thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you. So
We
now
look
I'd
forward
like to
having
go
everyone.
to New York. Oh, pardon. Okay, great. I'll turn to Beth, our partner in New York. So Beth, we love always speaking with you because you have such a personal, wonderful view of New York City. But what do you want planners to know or to be aware when they come or when they are planning a group in New York? You are muted, Beth. We can't hear you right now. Voila.
I knew I would do that eventually. Good morning, everyone. Beth Lockwood here from Details NYC. Yeah, I mean, I'll just start with just letting everybody know the vaccination mandate in New York, because it's very, very strict. You cannot go anywhere at all unless you're double vax, anywhere inside, I should say. So, you know, anywhere, restaurants, museums, they're not checking at train stations and things like that, but you know, the theater, it just, you know, people can get fined. As far as venues go for private events, that's a little bit up in the air right now, because while some of the venues are following that mandate, some of them are also saying that it's really up to the planner what they want to do. So if the planner doesn't really require the vaccines for their meeting or their event, we can bring the testing on site. We just did that last week, where we brought a company on site to do daily rapid tests. That was at the request of the meeting planner. Very easy to do. We have many, you know, contacts here on the ground that do that. That's really the main thing about the mandate. And if you're vaccinated, you do not have to wear a mask inside.
Okay, great. So
Yeah.
now, Beth, can you share with us some of the newest happenings in New York City?
Yeah, I mean, there is just so much going on in New York that's new and great. One of the things I should mention is that New York is really working to become a more sustainable green destination, which, you know, we absolutely love. There's many initiatives put in place, and one of the main things is the expansion of the Jacob Javits Center, our main convention center. They've had a massive expansion to enlarge the space to 1.2 million square feet. That is enormous. They have an ultra modern 54,000 square foot special event space with views of the harbor. And it's probably the largest of its kind in the Northeast. So talking about green, they have also a 7-acre green rooftop garden on their roof, and everything that they're growing there is being filtered down to the chefs at the Javits Center to use for the meals for their events. There's a bird sanctuary up there, a beehive. It's like a whole oasis in the middle of this concrete metropolis. And they also recycle a lot of the rainwater that gets reused. So lots of green and sustainable things going on.
Great, lovely. And for those that do not know, Beth is very focused on sustainability in all programs. So if you're interested in going to New York City and really have a personalized program that takes sustainability to the next level, Beth is the person to work with. Absolutely. Thank you, Beth. I'm noticing, you mentioned Summit One Vanderbilt, the Midtown Tower. That's another great location.
Yeah, this has been all over the news and all over LinkedIn, if anyone has seen it. This is a brand new observation deck in a brand new building. And it's not just an observation deck, but they have very immersive experiences within different rooms. They have glass floors, fully glass rooms, all different types of interactive things going on, art exhibits. The views are incredible. I mean, it blew me away, and I'm here every day. Even the bathroom has an unbelievable view. So when you come see us, we'll take you to see the bathroom. You've never seen anything like it. But it's right next to Grand Central. So it's like a combination of historical and futuristic. It's really neat.
Thank you, Beth. Thank you so much. Looking forward to coming and seeing you. So now let's go all the way north to Alaska with Tony. And again, Tony, yes, you have a lot to offer, but Alaska has even more so to offer. And as we have so many clients that are, after having been confined so much, looking for outside space and for outside experiences, and Alaska is definitely a wonderful place for this. So Tony, can you give us an update on Alaska? What is possible? What is still challenging for a meeting planner in Alaska? And more importantly is, what kind of program can they do to still benefit from the beauty and the majesty that Alaska can offer?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. It is morning here still. So basically for Alaska, we are fully open. Our state in South Central, we have different areas. We're such a large state. So cruise lines started cruising again in July, and that's what we call Southeast Alaska. So for a lot of you that do cruises, that started happening in July. And then South Central, which is where I'm located, although we operate all of Alaska. We do up here ports of calls for the cruises. We also do Seattle, which connects well because a lot of not only do we do Seattle, but we help clients with their groups that are coming into Seattle to cruise up to Alaska. And then South Central Alaska, which is the Anchorage area, is where we do a lot of majority of our land programs for incentive, which is what we highly recommend for groups. That's a really great way to experience Alaska. And this summer, Alaska did not expect what happened, which was we had a better year this year with independent travelers and some incentive groups that did come than we did in 2019. So we are fully open. We're operating every for the summer season and winter. All of the venues, all of the activities, hotels, everything is in full operation. There is some limited services when it comes to restaurant hours or some things at the Alyeska Resort, which is our main property that we basically take all of our incentive groups to, which is located about 40 miles south of Anchorage. And that is along a top 10 scenic byway in the United States. So it's a pretty amazing drive in itself. And one of the things that's noted here in the slide is that the resort is getting ready to open a brand new indoor Nordic spa that's 50,000 square feet. It's going to be amazing. And that resort is surrounded by 7 hanging glaciers in the valley. So it's a pretty amazing property in itself. So we're pretty excited about that. But yes, Alaska is open and operating. And the thing about Alaska is, a lot of people are looking for outdoor activities, outdoor venues, things that are, exciting, adventurous, etc. That's what we've been doing all along. So for us, it's really second nature. It's not something we had to recreate for clients. It's something we've been doing for logistics for 26 years. So it's simply not a problem. And all of our vendors ourselves are very capable of doing that because that's what we have been doing all along.
Thank you, Tony. Having been at one of your programs and experienced it firsthand, Tony is the person to go to in Alaska. She has the local connection, and as you can hear, the passion for her destination. So great opportunities there. Thank you very much. So we're going to go to Florida now. I'm not sure if Ed and Claudia are on, but I will speak a little bit about what's new in Florida. So the Good Time Hotel is this new hotel, which is perched on Washington Avenue in South Beach. And it has some serious star power behind it. It has been created by Pharrell Williams, the singer, and Miami nightlife guru David Grutman. So this is a great property for outside. They have lush greenery at every turn, very playful interiors, like pick landline phones in guest rooms. I mean, it's full of personality. The heart of the hotel is the 30,000 square foot pool deck, and it's dotted with cabanas everywhere. So you can also transition from day to night at the Strawberry Moon, which is a restaurant, a bar, and they have a pool club too. And there's even a recording studio for aspiring singers and a cozy library for those that prefer quiet time. So a great new hotel to go and visit and to bring groups to the Good Times Hotel. And then there's another one as well, which is new, is the Thesis Hotel. And this is more chic new hotel in Coral Gables. And this is more to stay and dine like a local. They offer 245 guest rooms with lots of architectural furnishing and whimsical artwork. So if you want extra space, you can certainly go to the penthouse suite, and that has a state-of-the-art kitchen and master suites. So they have 2 on-site restaurants, and locals and visitors alike flock to the island-inspired Miami, and its chef Niven Patel won Foods and Wine magazine's best new chef, and that stars at this hotel restaurants. And they have a great rooftop terrace as well. So they have and the other thing about this hotel, which is interesting, is they offer guests free socially distanced yoga classes with Ahana Yoga. So something interesting for Florida. If anyone is on from Florida, and if you have anything to add, let me know, and I'll let you speak as well. After Florida, now let's speak about Denver. Yes, Denver, good. And I know, Wayne, you're on, so I would, Wesley, I'd love to speak to you. How are you, Wesley? Sorry. So can you tell us, can you give us an update on Denver? What is happening? You've been also having quite a lot of interest and quite a lot of demand. So can you give us some updates?
Of course, yes. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here. But yes, Denver's moving forward, as much as we can. So right now, we don't have any capacity limitations or mask mandates on the state level. Of course, the venues, hotels may have brand level requirements. So most hotels, do require staff to wear masks. But as Denver City as a whole and Colorado as a state, no capacity or mask mandates right now. So live events have returned. You can see on the slide, that's Mission Ballroom, which is a great event space and a concert venue. So that has been booked. So a lot of live entertainment back in town. The theater is opening. And like I said, some of those do have brand level requirements with masks. So I think that's very great. The city as a whole has been aggressive on vaccinations for its city employees, which also includes all employees at the Colorado Convention Center. So all city employees and their contracted entities must be vaccinated by the end of September. So I think that builds a lot of confidence for meeting planners coming into the state. And also there's just a lot of developer confidence right now. So the construction and building is still moving forward in Denver like it was pre-pandemic. So we have a lot of new hotels coming in. We have the Thompson Hotel, we have the Catbird, we have the Hyatt Centric, we have the Slate coming in as well. The downtown Sheraton just completed an $80 million renovation, which is more like a transformation. It is a brand new hotel right in the heart of downtown on the 16th Street Mall. So it really does look glorious. And I think what most people here might be interested in is our Colorado Convention Center is also in the middle of an expansion. So we're adding an 80,000 square foot ballroom. We are adding a 35,000 square foot pre-function space, and my favorite part, a 20,000 square foot terrace on the top of the convention center. So they're building up. And so we're very excited for that. It should be completed by 2023. So the developer confidence is here in Denver. And as you know, we just hosted the Major League All-Star game here in Denver to great success. So the hotels are doing well. But they have been, haven't been immune to staff shortages. So some of the hotels may not be able to sell at full capacity, or their F&B outlets may not be open at regular hours, but we are fully open to the extent that we can. So we're very excited.
Great. Thank you so much, Wesley. Thank you. And speaking about Denver, again, what makes Wesley's DMC, I think, unique is his local connections. And if a hotel or if a venue doesn't have the staff, he has the staff to supplement. So can certainly make a program really be at a very high quality level, thanks to his personal relationships there too. So thank you. Thank you, Wesley.
Of course.
Now let's go to Arizona. And I think Heather is on, and I'd love for Heather to give us some updates on Arizona, because again, that's a destination that has had a lot of appeal. All these destinations that are on the warmer side give lots of opportunities for those groups that still feel a little more comfortable being outside. So Heather, what can you tell us?
Hi, welcome everybody. Yes, we feel like the whole world is coming to Scottsdale right now with how busy we are, which is amazing, and we thank you. But I think it's due to our warm weather, our open spaces, the open air of the hotels, the way they're designed. We are capacity-wise, not capacity-wise, I'm sorry, percentage-wise, we're about 52% completely vaccinated in our state, 58% with one dose. So not as high as some others, but not as low as some others. So there are no mandates for any mask wearing in our buildings at all. But every time I go somewhere, it's just kind of a mix of people wearing their masks and not wearing their masks. So it's whatever you're most comfortable doing. We are excited that the Adero Scottsdale opened in October of last year. It has 177 rooms, 16 oversized suites. It's where the Copper Wind used to be, if you were ever familiar with that hotel. It's kind of in Fountain Hills, so you can see the gigantic fountain go up straight up in the air every hour. They have an adult pool, a regular pool. So it's a very nice, modern, small hotel, but their on-site restaurant is excellent. It is a really, really, really great. And it is our first dark sky community resort here in our Sonoran Desert. And then we're super excited for this year, our Ritz-Carlton in Paradise Valley is opening, and they are taking groups at the end of 2022. They have the longest pool in North America, as you can see from that picture, and it is amazingly beautiful with the beautiful mountains in the background. They have 215 rooms. They all have private entrances, and they also have detached casitas and oversized suites. And can't wait to see what the chefs come up with their restaurants, because I'm sure it will be amazing. This resort is so beautifully placed in our city, 5 minutes from downtown Scottsdale, 10 minutes from like the Kierland area. I mean, you can't get a better spot in this city, and you won't have better views. So we're very excited.
Nice, lovely. Good job, Heather. You're already busy. We want to make you even busier after this presentation. Great, lovely. Thank you. So I'd like to now give you more ideas about some destinations that are ideal for COVID conscious groups. So let's start with San Diego. So Southern California has been also an extremely busy part of the world, with a lot of large programs going on right now. And actually, they're so busy that that's why they're not on this call with us today. But they wanted us to flag to you those destinations in San Diego that are not necessarily top of mind for meeting planners, that have great opportunities for especially groups outside. So the Pacific and Mission Beach are two neighborhoods that our partner would love meeting planners to consider more, because it's right on the beach. It is so iconic to San Diego, and they have a way of creating events with that beachy Southern California feeling that is just amazing. So a great destination for, and a great spot for meeting planners to consider. The beach house is also another wonderful venue with a beautiful view. It had a lot of renovation, and so it's a perfect opportunity for groups of all sizes as well. So again, here the idea is for you to have some possibilities to think about other destinations in some of those locations that you already know, but maybe those different places, venues you don't know. So Fiona, I can see you're asking, is San Diego open for meetings at the moment? We believe it is. We actually have some clients going on right now, but we will put you in contact with our partners so that you have exactly the description of what is possible in San Diego versus other destinations. So now the next destination is Atlanta, and I believe that Elizabeth is on as well. So Elizabeth, if you are on, can you tell us, because I love those ideas that you brought to us. Elizabeth, I'm not seeing you. Stacy, is she on somehow? I don't see her. No? Okay, so anyway, Elizabeth brought these great ideas about the rooftop patios that are popping up all over Atlanta and having great success. So this is a perfect example with the Skyline Park at Ponce City Market. Any request for social distancing and maskless events, great opportunities in Atlanta as well. Lots of opportunities to have that mix of inside outside with which a lot of our clients are looking for. So another great destination to go to is Atlanta. Now let's switch to Chicago. I know Catherine's here, and Catherine, would love to hear from you about what is possible in Chicago. And Chicago has transformed itself a little bit to better suit issues around COVID, as you show here. So give us an update on Chicago, if you don't mind, Catherine.
Sure. So an update on Chicago, we have some pretty good vaccination rates. We're nearing 70% have at least one dose. And with COVID, you can see like this picture here, there are a lot of streets that the city has shut down so that it allows more pedestrian-friendly locations as well as more outdoor space. So the past couple years in this photo, you can see Fulton Market, which is just 2 blocks north of Randolph Street and Restaurant Row, has really seen a resurgence. It's kind of like the meatpacking in New York, where they have taken old warehouses and they've renovated. And so it's a huge hotspot. It's an entertainment district. And what's great is that there's new hotels. So you can take those small to mid-sized groups and it can be its own destination. It's just a couple blocks west of downtown. So we have the Hoxton Hotel. We have the new Nobu Hotel that just opened. We have Ace and Hyatt House. So there's a lot of properties. You can kind of make it a new, if you've been to Chicago before, see this new area. For larger groups, it's a great destination for dine around and programs like that. There's also some large venues, so you can really keep people in the hot new spot in Chicago. Currently, we have a mask mandate for indoor settings. Our cases are going down and our testing is going up, so we anticipate that to be lifted. And then other things that are going on, live theater is back, which is huge for us. So we're super excited to have that back in the city. We can do groups at theaters as well. And then, like everyone else, we are seeing issues with staffing, and Chicago has been around for 40 years. So our vendors know our expectations for events. But with that, we're seeing new faces at hotels, at restaurants. So we're going in and making sure they know our expectations prior to a program, day of the program, and then we're also supplementing their staff with our team on site to make sure that everything goes smoothly and meets and exceeds our own expectations. Other hotels that we're excited for downtown, the St. Regis is opening in the spring. We don't have a set date. So for those high-end incentive trips, we've been talking with that property and we're really excited to see all of these new properties come on. The Pendry opened. So there's a lot of different new options if you've been to Chicago, and if you haven't, there's hotels that have been refreshed. So we're really excited about opportunities for the rest of this year and then 2022. We are letting people know if you're interested in coming to Chicago in 2022, let's start talking now, because our schedule is pretty full and we can work around dates. We've been in communication with the CVB as well as the hotel properties on what dates work best, so that we can get you in, get you a great room rate, but also get those off properties locations for you as well.
Lori has just emailed us. She has a conference in Chicago in July 2022. We'll put the two of you in contact. Great. Because obviously need to work on it. And I'm so happy, Catherine, that you mentioned that, because especially with the borders opening, one of the communication we're saying to clients is do not wait too long. The demand is actually picking up a lot. Venues and hotels are now having less and less availability. Negotiation can be fierce. Again, the DMCs have such strong relationship with hotels and venues and restaurants that they can sometimes make miracle happen. And I will say all the time, make miracle happens. But the sooner you start speaking, the better it is for sure. Thank you so much, Catherine.
Yeah, sure.
And then I want to end in terms of destinations with Western Canada. There are so many wonderful opportunities there too. Our partner is extremely busy right now, so I'll speak on their behalf. But these are great destinations to go to. Same thing, if you want to have a great experience with nature, Western Canada is a great spot to go to. Lake Louise, Jasper Whistler, of course. They want you to be aware of the cottage country with private lodges and all kinds of activities around nature that a lot of attendees are looking for right now more than ever. Again, that demand all over the world is very much what we see as number one request from many of our clients, being outside, being able to take advantage of the scenery. So that's it for our presentation. I did not see too many questions, but if you have any, please, send them to us now. We hope this was helpful to everyone under this format. Again, if you want more information about other destinations in US, because we cover many more and many more in Canada as well, don't hesitate to reach out to us and we'll connect you with our DMCs in those destinations. There is practically no destination in US where we don't have a DMC. So anywhere in US and anywhere in Canada, if you need help, we're here. But I do want to flag the next two webinars we're going to have on October 6th, one that is of lots of interest to many of you, health and safety measures for in-person events. We will have some experts in this field speak with us about what us as meeting planners need to think about for in-person meetings anywhere in the world. And then the next destination download will be Caribbean and Latin America on October 13th at 11 a.m. So again, if you're interested in those webinars, please register. We'd love to have you. We'll send you a copy of this presentation because it was recorded, as well as a survey will be attached to it. So please fill this survey, give us feedback so that we continuously do a better job and a good job at answering your questions. I hope that through this webinar, you see the passion and the quality of our DMCs. They are here for you. We've been waiting for that time where business starts rebounding in a great way for a long time. So we're here for you. Each and every one of them has been so active this entire COVID time. And I can tell you they're solid, very solid. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much to the partners. As always, you impress us. Thank you. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.